What's happening? What's happening? What's happening out there in YouTube land? How's everybody doing this evening?
We're here.
We'll give the folks the usual couple of minutes to slowly walk in.
Is there a way to see this on our phone?
If you go to YouTube and turn the volume off, so that way there's no reverb.
I just want to see comments and stuff like that while we're doing that, you know.
We're at YouTube, CJ.
At Mom and Papa Joe's. Yeah, it should be on Mom and Papa Joe's. What's happening, folks? Who we got in the room this evening? Who we got? Andre, what's happening, dude? How are you doing? My man, good to have you. Mr. Ayers, how are you doing, buddy? Mr. Bean, good to see you. Howdy, howdy, howdy. We'll give him another minute. Grady Speed, what's happening? I think Grady is one of our regular lurkers, man. He pops in every now and again. Mr. Carr, good evening, sir. Welcome.
How do we see the live?
On Mom and Papa Joe, you should it should pop up in the left-hand side of your page, showing that it's live.
Got it.
Okay.
Click on that. It doesn't. That top one, Aaron, where he's got a picture of him and holding the red trophies.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a hidden button.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ayers, look like you're going to be busy, man. 60 people. What are you cooking? Kristen, howdy. Yes, you're absolutely correct. These guys rock right here. One of them is going to be just a little late. Ran into some issues at work, but he's on the way. Greg, how are you doing? Man, appreciate you coming to hang out with us, man. Appreciate you coming to hang out. TNT is my man. Yeah, TNT is my man. Yeah, we do a live every Thursday, man. Minus when some of my sports teams are playing, i.e. the Rams. Then I've got to watch them live. Daddy D, Todd. All right, guys, it's been 3.5 minutes, man. We're gonna get moving. That way we don't keep this gentleman too long. Returning to the show tonight are the three cooks that went to the Jack Daniels, the World Championship Jack Daniels Invitational. Aaron, Lesley, Curt Harbers, and there he is, a tad bit late, but right on time. D. Wayne, what's happening, baby?
Not much.
Good. I will quickly let these gentlemen reintroduce themselves. If you saw the first show maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, we brought these gentlemen on and they spoke about their plans for that upcoming trip. Well, that upcoming trip was 2 weeks ago. These gentlemen are back home with that experience under their belt, and we're going to talk about that. So real quick, let's start with Aaron. Just a quick reintroduction, Aaron.
I'm Aaron Lesley of Texas Oil Dust out of Midland, Texas. Got a barbecue seasoning company, and we love cooking barbecue. We cook all the time, every weekend, and we just try to rock the scene and do the best we can everywhere we go. So represent barbecue to the fullest. Just got back from the Jack, and I'm ready to talk about it. Excited.
Yes, sir. Curt?
I'm Curt Harbers, LaGrange, Texas, Central Texas, right between San Antonio, Austin, and Houston. We call it God's country out here. And I also have a seasoning company, cc'scountrybarbecue.com will get you there. We also do a lot of catering here in the Central Texas. Went to the Jack as well after winning Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Cook-Off. Had a great time. Got to go to the Royal again, and then we ended up at the Jack. And what a fun time! What a great ride it was.
Beautiful. Welcome back, Dwain, my man.
What's going on, fellas? Dwain Garber from Victoria, Texas. They put Myersville on the map whenever we was at the Jack because that's actually my mailing address. So nobody really knew where we were from. But yeah, man, me and my partner Dave Villarreal, man, it was a great time. Grady went with us and helped us a lot. Us three had a blast. Our wives are with us, and yeah, it was great. You know, Mid Coast Cookers got to make the show and had a good time. Even with Aaron giving me a hard time when we first got there about starting trouble.
Hey, man, you blew your way through there thinking you was some badass with a tying on the side of your shoulder, you know?
Awesome. Well, pre-show, we spoke for a hot minute, and I think all of you guys will agree, man, that there just wasn't enough time. Regardless of when you got there, for you guys, it seemed like there wasn't enough time. Aaron, just tell us real quick about your initial thoughts, man. We're not into the comp yet, just your initial thoughts on the whole weekend.
Overwhelming. It's like traveling back in time. Just like going back in time to an era that you know, just, I mean, hardly anybody was around. So simple, effective, huge support from all the guys down there called the Lynchburg Mob. And all the teams, man, just help each other out trying to get parked in, and a lot of camaraderie and team members, and just solid friendship. Never forget it.
Awesome, man. Curt, how do you feel the organizers took care of you guys?
Man, the hospitality was phenomenal. You know, as Aaron mentioned before the show, you know, we show up Wednesday morning and it is just pouring. And I mean, not just a little bit, I mean, all night, all day. And for them to have to hop on a fly after, you know, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain and in less than 12 hours, they did a phenomenal job of getting people parked in once they could figure out a way of getting them in. That was the tough part. And they, you know, they were so happy about getting people in.
Yeah.
I would have been like, sorry, guys. Sorry, wherever you're parked, go ahead and get started. Because everyone pretty much dropped their rigs and were like, I'm rolling around town I got stuff to do yet. And, you know, they were just so hospitable and were like, yes, no problem. It'll be fine here. We'll get you moved as soon as we can start, you know, moving people, figuring things out. They were wonderful, very hospitable. You know, like Aaron said, you know, the Lynchburg Mob, they did a phenomenal job, in my opinion, of what they had to deal with and what they had to work with. They had nothing. They had a blank, messy canvas that they went in and they made this beautiful event happen.
Yeah, man, and it seems like, you know, I'm always on social media during this event every year, and it seems like every year is a wet one at the Jack Daniels. I don't know if that's me exaggerating a little bit, but it appears that way to me, that every single year since I've been following the Jack, there's been some sort of weather. Dwain, I saw some pictures of your trailer stuck. Were you stuck or appeared to be stuck?
Well, let's clarify that real quick. Yeah, my truck was not hooked to the trailer when it got stuck. You know, it's a big, heavy trailer, you know, and we got down there and the guys had me unhook on the road and said that, you know, they're going to drag me in and very nice. You know, hey, how do you want it to go? What do you want to do? And I think my comment was, I'm at the Jack. I don't care what happens to that trailer. Just get it in there. I just want to start cooking. And they got about halfway in and the mulch road fell out and they had hell, but man, them guys had shovels. They were working big time. It wasn't stuck, but they quit right before. And you know, they asked me what I thought, and I told them, man, if y'all get Big Blue stuck, we're gonna be in trouble. And so, man, they got together and they decided a different path, asked me if I agreed with it. And I said, I'm fine with it. And they pulled me around, headed out the other direction, and actually went sideways across 2 spots. And they said, "Are you happy with that?" I said, "I'm fine with it," because we were closer to gravel, for getting out of there. And I said, "I'm happy." They said, "If you're happy, we're happy." And they even came back later on and "Hey, sir, would you like to try to move it again, or are you fine?" I said, "I'm fine." It was perfect the way it was. They were very concerned about not tearing up nothing. And like I said, I just kept telling them I just want to cook. I'll redo the plumbing when I get home.
I definitely understand that, man. Dwain,
the whole deal was overwhelming, though. I will tell you that. Everywhere you go, every store, every window, every banner, it's Jack Daniel's Invitational World Champion Cookers. I mean, it's just you never got away from it. The whole town, the square, you felt like you were somebody. My baby boy, you felt like you were somebody and you belonged there. And it's like the town and everybody, they knew what it took to get there, and they held up to the part about what the Jack's all about. I mean, you really felt like you were something, and it was awesome, man. It was awesome.
Well, that is awesome, man. Sounds like they made you guys feel like VIPs. And that was.
Let me get this out of the way real quick.
We're going to get to that piece of wood in a minute. Just hold your horses, Sparky. So.
Hey, Dwain. Hey, CJ. Dwain, apparently Aaron had a little more pull than we did since he got to stay on some asphalt the whole time. I don't know what happened there, but I'm like, what's the deal with that guy?
I think it was from size. He's big. He got the best spot. We got the next spot, and they put my little ass out there in the ballpark.
Hey, so as you moved along into the week, what were some of the perks? What were some of the things they provide you guys in terms of entertainment? We're not anywhere near cooking yet.
Pretty much the only entertainment you really had was the downtown square, seeing the sights, kind of messing around with like the local eateries and stuff, and the distillery tours. But they cater to the cooks on Friday evening. They give you a car, they give you a nice parade, and up on the hill, they feed you dinner. It's about 2 or 3 hours of dinner, some drinks, socializing, that kind of thing. And this is a pre-cook-off, Friday evening, and everybody goes up there and just kind of hangs out, and it's one big barbecue family. Judges, competition cooks, celebrity cooks, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much what they do to kind of provide entertainment for you is the hill experience on Friday evening.
Yeah. So you said a cooks parade?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where were you guys in a group, or are you coming through as a team doing the little there you go. Was it as a whole group of cooks, or was it like individual teams?
It was a team. It started at I think 4:00, and when you went up the hill from where we were at, kind of down in the holla, as you started, just every team would go walking, and you kind of went around the square, and the locals and all that would just be lined up on the sides, cheering you on and all that. You walked through the square and then continued on through to where then you got on the bus and took you to where Aaron was talking about, up to the hill. So you just kind of, as you got there, every team just kind of walked through on their own, and they just kind of hooped and hollered a little bit and all that. And you cruised through the square and then got on the bus, and then you went up to the hill for the awesome scenery and
beautiful
awesome place up there on the hill. Beautiful.
That sunset was amazing.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now, how much interaction, how much time did you guys spend with other teams, some of the guys that you're not accustomed to seeing on a regular basis?
Not much.
I didn't see half of them.
Now, so you guys pretty much just hung out with Texans?
There wasn't a whole lot of hanging out. I mean, once you got there and you figured out how to rig up your campsite to accommodate the amount of water, mud, whatever the situation was, and then you got your camp rigged up to where we can cook. He's always got something. Man, by the time you did that in the evening, you're tired, you wore out. You either had a B&B in another town 30, 40 minutes away, or you stayed in your trailer. But we hung out for 10 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes here, and then we were gone. I mean, it's a 30, 40-minute drive to Winchester for us. So if it wasn't the Texas teams that we got to kind of stop by, talk to, and see for a minute, they either come by the camp, we signed to Barrelhead, and we talked for a few minutes, but I did not get to go out and visit and socialize with any other team.
Okay, totally understood. So sounds like there aren't any. I'm a hotel guy when I do cook-offs, or even from our cooking. If I'm coming to visit at a distant cook-off, I'm going to get a hotel overnight. So there weren't anything in the local area. You had to travel to get to a hotel.
Correct.
I think there's some stuff there locally. You just got to find it early.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
We have the Lynchburg Inn. That's it.
So next week I'll book my room next week. Whether I make it or not, I can cancel.
Yeah,
at the Lynchburg Inn is right there. That's it.
What's the name of that one, Curt?
Lynchburg Inn.
Okay, Lynchburg Inn.
And that's it.
Yeah, that one sounds a little scary for me. I might try to find something else.
Airbnbs in town.
Yeah, okay.
And people are actually right now when we eat lunch at Mary Bobo's on Thursday. It's a local old eatery there. Kind of a historic place to go eat at. Kind of a family style. They just bring it to you to keep eating till you pop. But there are some folks coming in that they're actually building B&Bs. They're remodeling. They're working on them. So they're actually bringing more and more Airbnb style housing to Lynchburg for events like this. So, but no, 20 minutes away, there's towns 20 minutes away with plenty of hotels and stores and stuff. We just didn't know where everything was at the first go around.
Yeah. All right. So live and learn. Live and learn.
We actually went the other way. We went to Fayetteville, and it was about a 15-minute drive to Fayetteville. And we stayed at the Best Western. Just where do you get, when you're looking online? But there was 4 or 5 nice hotels, places to eat, Stop and Shops for ice, all that good stuff. So we went to the hotel Thursday night. The women went back Friday. We all stayed in the trailer Friday night, and then Saturday back to the hotel. But it was Clarence. It was a 15-minute drive. Yeah. Nice little clean town. Stop and Shops right there to get what you want. So. It's whenever you do get to go, because I know you are going to be going. Fayetteville was a nice little town. Like I said, 15-minute drive.
Okay.
Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all.
All right.
I think it's Walmart and all that. So you forget something, it ain't like you're just stuck out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So as we move towards cook time, I understand they weren't any international teams this year, or were there?
No,
I think there was a few that could fly in. That from other, like I think there was a team from Canada, maybe somewhere else, but I don't know. I don't think there was any competing international teams.
Yeah.
But there might have been a few that did that because of travel restrictions were able to come over. I just don't know how far they were going, but I didn't really meet anybody outside the United States. I heard some from Canada.
Me neither. I didn't either.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So as you move into Friday afternoon, I know KCBS, they do a quick meat inspection, correct?
Correct.
All right. And were you able to bring your meats pre-trim, or you had to trim on site?
You can pre-trim.
Okay. All right. So that is standard. So you go through a meat inspection, man, and it's time. You got your game face on Thursday evening. What are you thinking right now? How are you feeling? What did you guys plans? What are your plans?
Focus.
We start with you, Curt.
Like I mentioned a minute ago, mine was looking behind me going, how did Aaron Lesley get on that asphalt? And we were stuck in a mud hole, like 4 feet deep. and he's sitting right there on asphalt. You heard him talking about all that water he was in and having it set up and all. He had 0 water.
Yeah.
The only water he had was when he was dribbling out of the water.
Well, it was a little bit on the grass.
He spilled it out of his glass.
Yeah, exactly. His Yeti cup. Now, game face on was, okay, let's get going. What do we want to start with? And, it was, do we want to go ahead and get chicken going first? Do we want to do briskets? What do we want to do? Everything's ready. It's a matter of, hey, let's go. Let's get this ready. Let's get this prep. And let's get us some rest because time this whole time has been flying by. As Aaron hit earlier, Wednesday, all that happened. Thursday, that all happened. And before you knew it, they were coming by checking your fire extinguishers, checking your meats. And you were still trying to somewhat get settled in and going, how are we going to work around this? So it was a matter of going, okay, hey, let's get this done. Because we now also, like they said, we have to go to, the hill, do the parade, go up on the hill. You didn't want to miss that. That's all you heard about. So it was, hey, let's do some of this. Let's get this done. We'll come back and we'll finish. And that's kind of the angle we took. We started with some of it, got a lot of it done, and then said it's not quite time because that's a little early for us, what we like to do, to get it all done. And we said, all right, well, let's go because it's quite a bit of a hike from where we were to where the buses were after the walk around the square to get up to the hill.
Well, sweet. So you guys are prepping meats, man. About what time do you think you get?
I didn't make it.
Huh?
I didn't go the hill.
Okay, you stayed and did what you had to do.
It's Friday night.
Yeah.
6 to 8:30.
He don't leave his trailer.
Yeah.
Well known about Aaron Lesley. He don't leave his trailer on Friday night.
No, that sounds like something I would do too, man. I don't want to mess around.
I'll tell you this real quick, not a story, but we took the 415 tour at Jack Daniels, and I did the Angel Fire tour, which is a nice 5-glass sipping whiskey tour. It's where we got to sit down and sample. So we didn't get done until 6:15ish. By the time we got back to the trailer, buses quit hauling at 7:30. By the time we got meats done, it was too late to make it up there. So I didn't make it this year, but if I get back again, that's what I'll make it on my bucket list to go.
Absolutely. I highly suggest it. And we did that same tour, Aaron. We did it that morning. So that was I highly suggest that tour as well.
And I'm sure all you guys took quality meats. I shouldn't even have to ask that question. I know you took quality meats, man. I know you took quality meats. What time did you call it Friday night? What time did you shut it down and bed down?
I had baskets loaded in bed at 10:30.
10:30?
11:15, we were in bed.
All right.
It was about 11 for us. And, like what they're talking about, for us, we were, to go to the hill was a no-brainer. We were going to go, and you're either going to inject and season, do your stuff early, or you're going to do it later.
Yeah.
That was the biggest decision for me.
Me too.
Do you do it early? Do you do it later? So, we kind of had to just kind of calm down and think about it. Yes, you're at the biggest cook-off of your life, but it's a cook-off. Think about it. So we looked at our time schedules like we're going to start cooking earlier. We're going to cook earlier. We can go ahead and prep earlier. So we made a decision to get it all knocked out before we went while we were drinking water to get a level head because, I didn't want anything affecting what we were going to do. So kind of what we did, I guess, 2 or 2:30, man, I got my team, Dave and Grady, and we actually just walked out on the back of the trailer on the porch and just kind of looked over at everything. And I'm like, guys, we're at the Jack. Just soak it in for a minute. We're here. We're here together. We're 3 good friends. We're good cooks. Just enjoy it, soak it in. But now let's focus on we're just at another cook-off. So we went back in and we stuck to our game plan and we knocked everything out, got everything put up. We were happy with everything, hit the parade, hit the hill. And I'm not a big Jack drinker. I drink, but not Jack. So After a few of them old number 7s, I was ready to come on down, man. A good old 40 Creek was calling my name. So we got back to the trailer. And again, we just went on the back of the trailer. Now it's dark, and you just the sunset, and you can see the Jack Daniels tent. We just stood on the back of the trailer and just kind of soaked it in, you kind of get emotional. You get caught up in it. And, we went to bed about 11, and like I said, we had a little pillow talk. We got our pillow talk in, and we went to bed, and we got up at 3:45, and when we hit the floor running,
yes, sir,
it was game on.
So the next day, any major mistakes, any major things you may have forgotten during your 4-meat cook, or was it pretty much just a smooth thing? You had everything locked in.
I'm gonna say for us, us too. I'll take that cook back home any day. We had a game plan. Yeah, we had a game plan. We were all together, but everybody had something they were mainly focusing on. And we kept joking that morning. We're like, man, we got all this time. And the saying was, it's about to hit the fan. And everything was cool, but when shit hit the fan, it was hectic. Once we got the chef's choice out of the way, everything was smooth sailing. We hit our marks. We hit our time. We'd never gotten a bind, and everything turned out like we wanted. And for that, I couldn't have been happier. Yeah, everybody did what we set out to do. Everybody pulled their part. Everybody's product turned out what we wanted, and we had a great day Saturday. It was a great cook for us.
Excellent, man. Yeah,
excellent. I'm the same way. Everything pretty much. I feel like things cooked a little quicker than normal, but otherwise everything was pretty much right on. And like Dwayne said, I mean, I'll take that cook back anywhere.
Sweet. And that is how things go, man. When you've got your ducks in a row to start with, when you pre-plan and you've mentally ran that through your head 3 or 4 times before you left the house.
100.
Yeah, exactly. Before you left,
a lot of sleepless nights.
Yeah, before you left the house, you've ran that through your mind, man, so many times. I can understand exactly what you guys went through. So you knock them out, man. And if you're anything like me, at the end of a cook, you've got a good idea about, all right, this meat is my best chance, followed by this, that, and the meat that I like least, is this one. Did you guys have an idea as to where you felt your best chances to get a call were?
I really thought all 4 of my meats were on point. I didn't leave nothing behind,
Yeah.
I put everything out there. The flavors were, I've cooked them all over the country. And it was just a different place there. But when I popped that burn into my mouth, I slapped myself silly. That brisket was, Clarence, that brisket was banging as a money-making motherfucker. But point being, it was still a 23rd brisket with a 172. And that's a big score to be. Whereas that,
man, that's nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, nothing to sneeze at.
Brisket was good, so I knew brisket was going to be the one I walked in, and I just didn't quite get there. But I was happy with everything. I didn't miss nothing. Beautiful boxes, just great flavors all around. But we'll take what we got and we'll walk with it.
And from the standpoint of a cook, man, that's all you can ask for, is to cook the best thing that you can cook and turn it in. Once you've done that, that is half the battle, man. And now, okay, I've done what I was supposed to do. And now it's just up to the judges to help me out. You couldn't do anything different. That is how I would like to feel at the end of that last turning at every cook-off.
I think it was all there. There wasn't a disappointing day. We turned in one hell of a dessert. Paul Whitaker did that. We turned in a badass chef choice. We tied for 3rd. That was even better. Had a great sauce, ribbon. Chicken, I couldn't have asked for a better chicken. Just judges didn't agree, and
Yeah.
same thing with ribs and pork. Brisket's that one thing that I'm super proud of. I take real pride in my appearance scores, my flavors. But at the end of the day, when I walked out of that trailer to go to awards, I was smiling because there wasn't nothing you could shake a stick at me. I've won already. My grandbaby was born on the way, when we got down there. So, I was already a champion. And,
yeah. Well, congrats, Grandpa.
I appreciate it.
Congrats, Grandpa.
It's good. So I'm sure everybody had their moments. It was a tight day, but we survived it. Blessed.
Dwain, did you feel particularly good about any one meet, or were you just thoroughly happy across the board?
We were happy across the board. We tried a little. I'm not saying little, something different. Our chicken is flavorful, I guess you could say. So we kind of knew going into it, we wanted to run our own recipe, and we knew that the chicken might be a hit or miss type of deal. If they want bland, we're going to be out. But, after, tips from you guys and other guys, we didn't want to change it. So we kind of knew that was going to be maybe on the board. The ribs, we added a little bit at the end, and changed the tenderness, but they turned out like the same rib we've been cooking for the last 2 years. So we were pleased with that. Brisket, we've been struggling in a little bit, and I'm kind of like Aaron. That had to be one of the best briskets I've cooked in a while. We ended up 19th brisket, and it just, oh my God, I wish I could have brought 7 slices back from anywhere down here, but it was awesome. I mean, we were just excited. The pork box, I don't touch pork butt. I hate pork butt. When I tasted the pork in the different ways, Grady ran with that 100%. And I'm gonna tell you what, I forget the placing on that. It was high 20, 30, 20 something around in there. But
yeah,
that's the best pork. And I'm not saying it just because he was my partner for the weekend. That's the best pork I've ever put in my mouth. So we were happy with everything. And Chef's Choice too. And I finally learned a little thing on Chef's Choice. If I ever get to go back, we were very happy with that. And Chef's Choice is something, I do bacon wrapped shrimp. Dave does a good steak. So to get to put them together, we were stoked about it. And Linnea Sugars, she was right beside us, and she came over and she said, "That's the best damn bacon wrapped shrimp I ever put in my mouth." And but what we did is we put the whole 6-ounce ribeye cap. I did not know, and I reread the rules, and when I come home, I did not know that they did not have knives and forks to cut it. They had to pick it up and eat it with their hand.
Oh, okay.
Let's
learn.
We had perfect scores, and I finally got to talk to somebody, the girl that's been posting all the pictures. She was on our table, and she said that's what got us the 2 8s on 2 different judges instead of wiping it out with perfect scores. Because they had to pick that whole steak up and eat it until, instead of being able to just cut it, piece out of the middle. I didn't know that, so
lesson learned.
It is lesson learned. But
lesson learned.
We were really, and hey, we still hit 7th. We was right there. We're coming for you, Aaron. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, excellent, man.
We had 1/10 in the drop score difference between 3rd and 4th. Between the top 10 and the top 3, I was like 1/10 of a point. Are you kidding me? In the drop score? Come on.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, Curt, how did your cook go?
We thought the same thing with the other guys. Everything went phenomenal. Let's say cooked a little quicker than normal, not changing anything. But outside of that, everything was hitting, our temps were hit. Times were just, half an hour early for whatever reason. But otherwise, flavors were right on what we were wanting. We definitely had a bunch of flavors out there for people. And you can second guess all you want when you have 2-3 different flavors for each protein sitting there going, hey, what's going to pair the best with it? And once you get it cooked, you think this may be the one, but hey, maybe not once you taste it or things of that nature. As far as texture and tenderness, man, especially in chicken, is one of those where you go, we finally got that bite through. Finally got it. It was, that's what killed us at the Royal. Had some great scores. It was just the bite through that killed us. And it was like, man, we got it. Adam actually ran with that one and did a great job as he was up there with us. And he did a phenomenal job of really, really babying those and getting those to the right temperature and so forth. Getting those running and getting that skin to really come off. I mean, really did a good job. And the flavor profile we put out there, kind of like Dwain, we knew it was either we were going to be all in and they were going for it, or it was going to kind of be, maybe it's a little too much.
Yeah.
But we decided, hey, we'd rather have that shot. And it was phenomenal on our end, what we thought, and went with that. Ribs were as good as any other time. Michelle cook a great rib, and she ran with her ribs. And we talked about it before we all went to the table, and I said, man, we need to run the Houston rib. We need to run that Houston rib. And she did a phenomenal job of running that rib. And there were so many flavor profiles running through that rib that you just went, this is going to hit every palate of every kind, and it did. Pork, man, I couldn't have cooked a better money muscle. We tried the bacon. The bacon was phenomenal, and it was just like, hey, all right. The rest of it was a little overdone, but the bacon and the money muscle were perfect, and so that's what we turned in. We turned those two in. And like I said, the only reason was everything else was we felt was a little mushy, a little overdone, but we were babying everything else. And it was what it was. We thought the flavor was there, spice was there. Hey, let's run with it. And then the brisket, man, I cooked another great brisket. So we thought, there again, we go, hey, here we go. I'll turn that brisket in tomorrow. I'll turn, and judges just didn't think so.
Yeah.
And is what it is a little humbling. I'd say it's quite humbling to see where it finished and go, wow.
It's a learning experience. And for Mom and I, man, every time we've done one, we've gotten better and better and better. And we've just, our last few American Royals, we've just been right there on the edge of that call, So that's what it's all about, man. That first one is always going to be a learning experience, and you pick up the pieces and hope to get back there again.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. It's on my. Hey, you know what? We know now.
Yeah,
we know.
Without a doubt.
Let's get back there. Now we know. Yeah. And let's go do it. And that was something that, the Royal allowed us to do is when you cook 2 days, you can make those minor adjustments and go, here you go. Let's go play. Yeah. But like Aaron said earlier, you end up on you got to remember there's 75 world champions there. I mean, let's not BS it. I mean,
awesome cooks there, man.
Yeah, and so you're sitting there and you hit a table, like Aaron said, you end up with, a 170, and you're going, wow, I was third on my table.
Yeah. And you've got to remember that these guys are doing this weekend in and weekend out, whereas you guys, hey, you're first, or you might do 1 or 2 a year. So, dude, it's all about getting there, getting that experience under your belt, man, and hopefully you get a chance to do it again. So we get to awards now. Everything is turned in at awards. Dwain, we'll start with you, dude. I was scouring social media waiting for results. I didn't watch any lives. I can't even watch the live awards, but I wait for people to post results. And I saw somebody else post your results, and I was like, mind blown, man, mind blown. So what was your tell us about your awards, D?
Chillin. I just happen to have it sitting right here. It just happens to be a big
Hold
ass.
on a minute. I want to know, is there video of that jump, that leap?
I don't know if y'all can see I got a little shrine set up over here. We actually, look here. We bought the whole goddamn Jack Daniels barrel. The whole barrel. And we got the whole shrine set up on top of it.
That's awesome.
That is awesome, man.
Everybody knows me, and I get excited as shit at awards. I'm passionate about cooking. I really am. I love it. You know, I always call myself the underdog for some reason, but you know, you practice at the house. You call, you text. Everything you go through that people don't see. The 3 o'clock in the morning waking up, my wife going, "Hey, do you think we ought to use this sauce?" And she's like, "Go to bed." But it's the stuff that people don't see. So when they call your name or they call your number, to me, that's just the feeling of it worked. All of that came together. Like I told a guy, we drove 2,000 miles and spent 6 days for a 45-second walk. Half of that I was jumping, but no, we were sitting there, and when he said Myers, you know, 5th place pork rib is going home. Well, to back up, we said if we win a ribbon, happy as could be, but if we bring a barrelhead home, I'm gonna tear that place apart. And Roddy Trevino asked whenever the MC early on. He said, "Man, this is the quietest Texas has ever been. Texas is so quiet." Roddy looked over at me. I said, "Let us get a call, big boy. Let us get a call." So when they called out 5th place and that it was going back to Myersville, Texas, I come out of my chair. Dave come out of the chair. We were hugging. Poor Dave. He's got bruises on his back. I beat him to death. I was beating Dave behind me. And everybody's just, I come around the corner, and there's Aaron standing there with open arms. And he's like, I don't even know what he said. I think he said, what do you think? But he had his hands open. Well, he was wanting a high five, I guess. And the next thing I know, I'm in the big sumbitch's arms.
I think he said, "Come to Papa."
Yeah, he did. I did. And threw my hat. It's just the biggest, you know, you say you like to go back, you like to do this, you like to do that. But in reality, that could be the biggest call of my barbecue career. And just what it took to get there. My wife almost didn't go. At the last minute, we decided to go. So she was with me. My partner was with me. His girlfriend was with them. You know, my best friend Grady. We were all there, and it was emotional, man. It was just freaking awesome to get up to the stage, and you're looking out there, and you see the Myron Mixon and the Johnny Trigg, and you know, I was struck. You know,
yes, sir.
It was.
Man, big congrats. Huge congratulations. 5th place rib, folks. 5th place ribs at the Jack. All right, and then Curt, what was your best?
My best, or our team's best, was actually we got a call right in front of Dwain in ribs as well, and we got a 9th place call, rib call, and very, very excited. Kind of like we were sitting further outside in the shade, you know, with a little breeze as opposed to underneath the pavilion, and having a blast out there. And when they said it was coming home to Texas, I knew I was one of 4, and so I was still crossing them fingers and all that good stuff. And, you know, when we got that 9th place call, you know, a wonderful rib, like I said, from Michelle. And, I mean, come out of them chairs quick, fast, and in a hurry, you know, running up there to try and make sure they didn't renege on that.
Yeah.
You know, big call, man, big call.
So the barrelhead start at 5th place?
That's
5th.
Okay. But dude, that $6 ribbon, man, I will pay $3,500 any day of the week to bring home that $6 ribbon. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Got mine hanging up here as well.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's something they can't ever take away from us, guys.
Yeah. Big congrats, man. Big congrats.
Everyone got that call.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Nice job. A?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's you. Whenever I say A, that's you.
Yeah, he was waiting for Big Papa.
Yeah.
We still counting all his ribbons back there.
Here's the deal. I took 3 guys with me that I endure a lot. Paul Whitaker, Tommy Smith, and Chuck Long. And I took those guys with me. I asked them to go, and they didn't hesitate to say yes. But I got to cook barbecue in the holler with 3 wonderful cooks and 70 teams that are just badass.
Yeah.
So you'll never shake that feeling, and when Paul got that dessert call, 9th place dessert, he couldn't walk down that aisle because I was shaking his neck so damn hard, And I mean, it's a bunch of hell yes, and and he's like, damn it, Aaron, let me go, I gotta walk, And I mean, the whole point is that he was solemn and he was excited, but at the same time he was being, he was just focused on walking up there, and I'm shaking him all over the place. And then, then that sauce, that barbecue sauce call came in, and then, I'm excited there, and then to see that we didn't make the cook's choice, but to find out we tied for 3rd, and we were just that close, that extra, extra ribbon. But to go through 4 meats, I poured my heart and soul in those things, and I wouldn't change it for the world, because I can go out next weekend and probably do just as good as I have anywhere else. But to be there and to watch every one of these guys walk and cook and sing and yell and scream and throw their hats, and that's an experience that you'll never ever replace. I mean, 4 plate, you got 5th place, 6th place rib calls out of 450, 500 teams at the Royal. I love them. I got my ribbons up there. But at the same time, this is a whole nother deal. 70 teams. Yeah. Those 70 teams did something badass to get there. Yeah. It isn't like it's just they showed up on a Sunday at the racetrack. So, to take home a couple of ribbons, to get my names called, the team name called, and to be able to cook with those 3 guys, it's irreplaceable, and that's the biggest trophy to me. So, shout out to those guys in Midland Meat Company for giving me the best meats I can get to get out there and to shoot the run. So short rib drum smokers, those guys are just awesome, and they help you in any way you can. But I'll never trade my Jambo, my short rib, and my Midland Meat Company. I'll never trade them. So they're always there.
Well, man, I just want to once again congratulate all 3 of you guys, man, for a job well done. I am so jealous of that experience, man. But big congrats, Dan, and I can't wait to see you guys out there on the comp trail. I want y'all to take the rest of the year off and just let me get in these other cooks. All right? And I'll see y'all next year.
I will see y'all next year. I think I'll have to come find you.
Yeah.
we going to the showdown, but but what Aaron said real quick, I know you need to go, CJ. Congratulations to all the guys from Texas. To me, for 4 Texas teams to go up there and all 4 get a walk, I mean, that was just incredible. And I enjoyed seeing every one of you guys walk up there.
Likewise.
We were hugging and that out there, taking pictures with Curt and Get Up Chuckies and all them. And like you said, Aaron, and the big hugs. And, the guys are just as happy for you as you are for them. So, congrats to all you guys. Clarence, thank you for having us on the show. It was awesome, man.
Congratulations to Fred Robles on 5th overall. Joe Pierce for reserve, and Brad Latiger for Grand. That's awesome right there.
That's big.
Well, absolutely. Congrats to Fred, man.
You bet.
Big congrats to Fred. Awesome job across the board.
I want to shout out to Mike Machek with his ribs that sent me the ribs and the chicken. We appreciate him. Andy Lugo with the brisket did a great job. My Riley smoker, I wouldn't trade those. Wouldn't trade my Riley Smokers from Chris Evans out of Cedar Park, Texas. I mean, I love those things. They got me to Houston, got me to win Houston. Maciek does a good job for the meat for me on the side. And then, of course, Adam Martinez, Michelle Castillo that helped me out. My wife, Casey Harbers, as well as my ex-stepfather, Arthur Bosky, who's always close by, wanting to help out and show his support. So I had a wonderful time seeing all you guys. I had a great time there, and I hope to see y'all there again.
Sweet, man. Gentlemen, I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. Can't wait to see you back on the trail. I can shake y'all's hands in person, baby. Y'all take care, man.
Hey, you too, CJ. Thanks for the invite.
Yes, sir. Yep. Not a problem. Anytime, baby.
Now you watch out for this guy. He's a troublemaker, Eddy, right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's got a cold beer cracked open. He's ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, fellas.
Congratulations, guys.
Later.
See you guys. Peace.
Thank you, buddy.
What's up, folks? Hey, we ran a little long with the first half, but we're here again, man, for an extended second half. And ladies and gentlemen, I have got right now, Mom and I have got two of the hottest cooks on the Texas competition circuit, man. This is. All we need is a third Eddy. We've got the Ed, and the Eddies. We just don't have the third one. We've got Eddy with a Y and Eddy with an E. Gentlemen, real quick, we've had Eddy Medrano from the Barbecue Depot on before, so some of y'all have seen him. But then we've got Eddy L. Morales. A newcomer to the show. Real quick, gentlemen, starting with Eddy L. A quick intro to the viewers.
My name is Eddy Morales. I go by the Pit Father from Austin, Texas. And just compete barbecue every weekend, in and out. Trying to get on CJ's level.
Man, I'm playing catch up right now. Don't even start sandbagging too early. All right, in Medrano, hermano, ¿cómo está?
What's going on, brother? Aquí nomás.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, like I said, these two gentlemen, man, have been tearing it up. Eddy L has been on a tear, man. It's going on. He pretty much said to hell with COVID. He was kicking butt all through COVID. While I was staying at home, Eddy was out there just ripping lips. But just last weekend, we all three of us cooked an awesome event, man, for great benefit. First responders. We all did Q for the Blue. And a nice turnout. I think 65, almost 70 teams, and a field of quality cooks. And this is my third event with the new IBCA scoring system. And man, it keeps things interesting at awards. The new scoring system, because in the past you used to have those quality. You had to have those top three walks to finish out. Now with the new scoring system, man, you're required to have a quality cook across the board, which I really, really love. Eddy, talk to us about your cook. Before we even get there, man, talk to us about the last year or so of your cooking. What's been going on? What have you been doing that's caused you to? I mean, I'm not asking for any secrets, but just tell us overall what you've been doing, man, that's really allowed you to compete at such a high level.
Me or the other Eddy?
Eddy L.
Yeah. I mean, really, So when I started cooking, I was just doing, stuff that I did at home with the stuff that my family liked. My friends were like,
Yeah,
"Oh my
yeah,
God, this is amazing," blah blah. But
yeah,
it never worked.
yeah.
So I started, asking questions, and my buddy Ramiro Gordo, he said, "Hey, you need to try this, you need to try that," and I used to, make my own rub, and I thought it was the best rub out there, and had to, start using the commercial stuff, and
Yes, sir. Yes,
finally,
sir.
started slowly, getting the final table. And my first final table at the Austin Rodeo, 16th chicken. I'm pumped, man. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. And I do that chicken right now, and it ain't gonna do
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
But after that, I mean, just tweaking stuff, very little here and there, and finally I got some good recipes that would work, every so often, but never boom, 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 top three every category. I knew my recipes were good, and I mean, you already know what happened there. I mean, I took my recipes and took your techniques, and it just came together and just
Yeah, yeah.
started blowing it out of the water.
Well, dude, for I want to say 2+ years we'd bumped heads at cook-offs, man. And the only thing you would bring me to taste were your beans. I mean, just about every cook-off, you'd bring me your beans, and your beans were always bagging. I mean, you never
Yeah.
brought me anything. You never brought me anything. You never brought me anything besides the beans. The beans were always banging. So, and you weren't doing the kind of walking you're doing currently.
Yeah.
Back in the days. So, and cooks that are serious about this, man, sometimes all it takes is a couple of nuggets of information here
Yeah.
and there, and you incorporating that into what you're doing, and man, you'll
That's it.
take off, baby. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So again, this is a plug, folks. Not for Mom and Papa Joe's competition class, but for anybody out there that's looking to better their comp game, is to ask questions. And if you're still not getting the answers you're looking for, then look to take somebody's class. Look to take somebody's class. I say it time and time again. This activity is much too expensive, man, to go out there to continue throwing good money after bad. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out there every weekend or 2 weekends a month, 3 weekends a month, investing $500-$600 on a cook-off, entry fees, meats, fuel, the whole 9 yards, and not getting anything in return. We're not going to get rich off of this. We're not going to pay the rent competing. But what we're looking for is to simply get a return to get us back to the next comp.
That's right.
If we can make this comp pay for the next comp, we're doing exactly what we need to do. Anything left over is gravy, if you know what I mean. Anything left over is gravy, man. So it is great. It is great. And we're not going to even talk yet about Q for the Blue. Let's go over to Medrano. And Eddy, man, I mean, you've just come out of nowhere, it seems. Just out of nowhere, man. And again, what exactly do you think it has caused that?
Just the support of the boss lady, Ruby, letting me cook more. And, after I did well and got my first place chicken in Seguin at Diana's cook-off, Cooking for a Cure, man, it was just a rush getting, a first place call, my first place in IBCA. And when I started just because I wanted to promote the store. And we opened up, December will be 3 years. 2019, I cooked maybe 5 events, and I got some final tables. And I think my second IBCA event at the VFW, I turned in all 3 tickets, and that was my second IBCA event. And last year we cooked maybe 3 events because of COVID.
Yeah,
and like I said, after Father's Day weekend here in Seguin, Ruby said, you need to start cooking. And she's just given me, permission to cook a little more. And same thing last weekend. So I agreed with her. I'll cook one weekend. I'll be at the store one weekend. And last weekend was actually one of the weekends I was supposed to work. And she's like, no, you're going to go cook.
I wish you would work.
I was tired, man. I had to go do an install. My other business is appliance install. So I had to do an install because the contractor I totally forgot on Thursday. So I had to go do that Friday morning. Got back to the shop and it was probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And we had about 12 Traeger grills arrive. And I'm like, holy shit, I got to take all of this to the storage right now. By the time we were done, it was 6 o'clock. I got home. I was like, you know what? I don't feel like cooking. She's like, you're going to go. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, let's go. So we loaded up the drums and shoot, I got out there about 7 o'clock to drop off everything on Friday afternoon. And I still hadn't trimmed or prepped, but everybody that knows me knows I don't prep till Friday. So usually the way it is. But yeah, it's a rush, man. It's a rush. And, just incorporating all the techniques that you've showed us, and just like you say, just make it your own. You give us the broad of what it is and the techniques, and just make it your own. And it's been working. So,
well, guys, I appreciate that, but I don't want this to be about this class, man. We're here to talk about you guys because whatever info, man, I provided, it's still up to you guys to find a way to put that in effect. I can give you all info in the world, and if you use it incorrectly or if you screw something up, it's not even worthwhile. So you guys have found a way to incorporate those little things into what you're doing, and man, that is what this is all about. This is all about. And I'm telling you, Eddie, when I sent you the message asking Eddie L, when I sent you the message asking you to come on here, man. And I want to say before that, I'd gotten a message about you asking about, did I get into San Antonio rodeo? And dude, I could feel the excitement in your message for you going to rodeo. I mean, yeah. I could just sense the excitement in your message for you cooking your San Antonio rodeo, one of the biggest events in Texas. One of the biggest events in Texas, one of the biggest events nationally, but definitely Texas. So I know you're excited about San Antonio rodeo, man, and I hope when January does come around that you're still cooking the same way you're cooking. I hope you're still cooking the same way you're cooking. Saint Eddie, you my mama said you didn't get in.
I didn't, but the plan was I was going to try to get in on my own, and 5 minutes after 9 o'clock, I was on the paying screen, and it just kicked us out. But I had plan B, so I always cook for Team Mexico when they're over here, and this year the international team got invited, so I'll be cooking for Team Mexico.
And what we're getting at, folks out there, San Antonio Rodeo opened registration the 12th, 2 days ago, and the seats, the spaces that were available pretty much sold out in under 10 minutes. And we're talking roughly a total, we're talking about 300 seats, 300 spaces. Mm-hmm. Half of those spaces, give or take, half of those spaces were already gone through a special program. So all these cooks had to compete in terms of getting on that computer at 9 o'clock, furiously typing and inputting their information to try to get a spot. But in less than 10 minutes, whatever amount of seats were left were pretty much gone, and the program pretty much locked you out, shut you down, and put you on a waiting list. So that cook-off is going to be in January. So, gentlemen, as we get, let's talk Q for the Blue. Let's talk Q for the Blue. One of you was reserve grand champ. The other one was grand champion. And again, man, those are two massive, massive accomplishments. Q for the Blue is a well organized event. It's well attended, quality cooks. So to be able to come out anywhere top 2, man, is definitely an accomplishment. Eddie Medrano, how did your cook go on Saturday at Q for the Blue?
Man, it was effortlessly. I mean, everything was rolling. Everything came out on time. There was no delays. Shout out to my good buddy Tony. Yeah, we did.
I knew you were going to give Tony a shout out.
We did have a good.
It was just a matter of when.
Yeah, I mean, he was there and just helping me out, just at plating, just cleaning the plate, getting the plates done. I mean, just having an extra pair of hands is, because we ride solos most of the time. I know I do, but just having that extra help there, and I mean, everything just going nice and smooth. Cook a 45-minute chicken. It was done in 43 minutes. Ribs were resting about an hour. Brisket was resting over 2 hours. So, I mean, it was just a smooth cook, as smooth as ever. So just, being consistent. I've been cooking. That was my 3rd or 4th in a row. So
yeah.
Worst I've done in these past 4 is 4th overall. Yeah. So I must be doing something right.
Yeah. And to lead back to something we said maybe 5 minutes ago, is how you're able to get into a very nice flow when you're cooking on a regular basis.
Right.
When you're doing those 2 in a row, when you're doing those 3 in a row, those 3 a month without long layoffs, man, you're able to get in a nice flow. And ladies and gentlemen out there, I am so serious when I say, man, the way you sprinkle your rubs. If you're not doing this, on a regular basis, man, you're off with the amount of rubs you're putting down. I mean, you're never going to be exact from event to event. But if you're seasoning every week at a cook-off, you get in a flow. You get that visual to know exactly when everything is where it needs to be. And it is so important that you cook on a regular basis if you want to be consistently successful. Every now and again, you might jump in out of no place and get a nice call. But for the most part, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Eddie L., how did your cook go on Saturday?
It went good. It went really good. I was just kind of nervous because I cooked on a brand new pit that I've never cooked on at a competition.
A one-man pit.
One-man pit.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I usually run the Brooks drums, but I said, I'm going to take this one-man. And everybody's like, well, you never cooked a competition with it. And I'm like, well, I know how to cook, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't. I mean, it ran so smooth, man. It was crazy.
Man,
it went good.
And again, it leads right back to what we're saying. You're cooking on a regular basis, man, and I admire that you had that motivation, man, that will to go out there when not everybody was ready or willing to do that. So you're in that place where I definitely want to get back to in terms of regularly cooking. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, Eddie is one of those. A couple of months ago at a cook-off, I walked up to Eddie's camp, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning looking for coffee. And Eddie goes into his trailer and comes out with a damn cold beer. I had to spell it out for him. I said, coffee. I don't want beer at 6. So I don't know what kind of pet games he was trying to play with me. But so
I remember that was that.
But no. As we get as you're finished turning everything in, obviously you felt that you didn't have any major errors during your cook. Everything went smoothly. And like I told those guys who were at the Jack, at the end of every cook-off, you have one meat that you really feel, all right, man, this meat is guaranteed call. And then you can rank them in your head. We've all had those events where you feel like all 3 meats were just right where they need to be. You know, we had one of those at San Antonio Rodeo where I was not able to pick one meat because I felt that all three of them were just right where they needed to be. And so what was your meat, Eddie L?
Mine, it was chicken.
Chicken?
I thought my chicken was top 3 for sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I had no doubt in my mind. And then it would have been ribs, and then last brisket.
Yeah. And ultimately, how did that chicken place?
11th.
11th. All right. So
11th.
and again, ladies and gentlemen, you know, what we think is cooks mean absolutely nothing when we get to awards.
Nothing.
You know, we can tell each other whatever. You bring me a piece of meat, I can tell you, man, this is salty as all get up. All right. And I always put this disclaimer at the end, but what I say don't mean anything, I tell you, because it doesn't. You know, it doesn't. So what we think means absolutely nothing. And I try to tell people that, you know, hey, all right, you really like it, but don't get your feelings hurt if the judges see things differently. Medrano, how did you feel?
Chicken is probably my least favorite to do, but that's been consistent, either first or 11th. And the guys that I was surrounded with, you know, we turned in, we came back, sliced up the extra ones, and I had George Flores right next to me. I had Adam Luna, Malcolm Kitchen, who ended up getting a first.
Yeah.
And I had Kit Polk and Marcus with stacks right next to me. So I was like, damn, if one of us doesn't hit.
Hold up for a second. Just listen to some of those names that you're calling. You know, I spoke of the quality of the cooks at this event. Listen to those names that you were calling. And to think that some of them did not walk.
Yeah.
You know, some of them did not walk. There are only 10 spots in each category, man. So very often quality cooks, quality meats get left out, you know. Hey, that's the nature of this beast.
For chicken, I sampled my stuff out. George brought his out, and I was like, damn, that's good. You know, Malcolm's was on point like always. We've been, you know, battling first, second, or fourth, fifth chicken all the past 3 cook-offs, and he just straight out said, man, yours is good. And I'm like, dude, yours is good. So I was like, if one of us doesn't hit in this little corner that we're at, you know, we've got something to do.
Yeah.
So chicken was in. Ribs have not moved for me. It's either third or fourth. They've been consistently third or fourth, and you know, produced the same thing. And Mr. Roy Guerra, Mr. Muy Loco, had to go to work, so he's usually my test, you know, subject. So when I give it to him, I call him head nod because he bites into it and he's just he goes into it. I was like, all right, we're good. So he wasn't there. But Tony's like there, and he's like, dude, what did you do different? It's different. And then I'm like, no, everything was the same, dude. I run the same recipe. He kind of messed with me in my head, and I was not expecting the rib call. And then again, fourth place, and brisket I thought was just as good as, you know, the first place or second place brisket that I had a couple of weeks ago, and ended up 10th. So I mean, they were all just they all tasted good to me. So
and you know. And what I like about this scoring system is that at the end of awards, we kind of know in the previous scoring system, we already kind of knew who GC and probably reserve were. You feel me? You know, but with this scoring system, man, more often than not, I've got absolutely no clue as to where people are. And that is that I think is a good thing in terms of keeping everybody at awards, you know, till the end. Because in the past, people wanted to get up and break camp, you know, they only got one call here, or they knew they were out of the running. But with this scoring system, you do not know that you're out of the running until things are over, man. So everybody is hanging around. Eddie M, how did you overall? Where did you think you stood? Honestly,
I honestly thought I had my first GC, man. I walked 3 times.
Yeah, you had 3 walks. Yeah,
Carlos Aldasa had 3 walks, and we're like trying to debate, he's like, I want it. I was like, dude, if you win it, I'll take reserve. I don't care, but I really want my first GC. And
dude,
they called
I mean, based on what I saw, I thought it was you or Calzado.
Yeah,
I thought it was you or Calzado.
So when they called him in third, I'm just like, oh shit, Eddy got me. Eddy got me. Sure enough, they called me in second. I'm like, damn it.
And Eddy L, where did you think you'd finish? Honestly,
I thought I was just top 10.
Yeah,
I knew it was going to be top 10, but I didn't think it was going to be grand. I thought maybe 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
But before they started calling top 10, and Melissa went up and said, "Hey, this is how it works. Blah blah blah. You can GC with the first." Then I knew it was either going to be me or Malcolm, because Malcolm had the first place chicken, and nothing else, and I had a first place brisket.
Yeah.
So
because
when she said that, then I kind of got an idea.
At the start, she really made it a point. She pointed out that the categories were weighted. You know what I'm saying? And man, so like I said, I absolutely love this scoring system, man. It keeps the interest at the very end, and it rewards a quality cook across the board. Whereas back in the past, one brisket call, first brisket could win you a competition. We're not going to see that happen. You're going to need some other things along the way to win a competition today, and that's what I think that's the way I think it should be, man. You've got to be quality across all three meats or all 4 meats based on where you are cooking. So I'm going to see all 3 of you guys. So just in case you missed it, folks, Pith Father was GC. Eddy from the Barbecue Depot was the reserve grand champ. Hard fought contest, man. Really, really love to see these 2 guys, and I say it and I will say it again. If I'm not the GC, man, I hope it's one of the people I call my friends GC. And I mean, when a stranger GCs, I'm happy for him, but I still don't get that same feeling I get when one of my friends, one of my boys are GCing. So if it's not me, I hope it's one of my boys. And I hope that's the exact same thing this weekend. This weekend, we're at another quality cook-off, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be at a Lockhart for Richard. I'm not going to even try to say the last name because I'm going to screw it up. All right, but Richard has been on the show before. Hill Country, what is it? HCCO, Hill Country. We'll be at Lockhart, and we're probably looking at any idea how many teams so far? We're probably looking.
He said he had about 160.
Okay, all right. So we're looking at we're looking at well over 150 teams. And again, this is going to be well attended, man. Quality teams. So it's going to be a barn burner. We're going to have to bring our A game as usual. And man, I would love to see you guys both do it again.
Do it.
Of course, I want it to be me, but if it's not me, I hope to see one of you guys. I know you guys are prepped. You're hot and ready and looking forward to it. Before we head out, ladies and gentlemen, one more plug or a plug for our competition class, Mom and Papa Joe's competition class. We're in at the Texas Barbecue Depot last weekend in October, 29th and 30th, 2-day class. We do all the prep work, show you all the competition preps of all 4 meats on Friday. We come back Saturday morning and we do the cook with your eyes right there on everything we're doing, recipes, amounts, the whole 9 yards. We're going to feed you an awesome dinner Friday and an awesome dinner. The dinner is awesome on Friday. Breakfast is just tacos. All right, breakfast is just tacos because we're busy cooking. But and I don't know if Eddy knew already, but he's doing that same dinner he did at the last class. Eddy did. Eddy M did street tacos that were banging, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Absolutely banging. I think I ate about 12 of them. But yeah, I think I ate about 12 of them. So really looking forward to it. If you need any information about the class, hit up Eddy or myself, and we will get your questions answered. But man, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Didn't want to keep you up this late. I know both of you guys are working tomorrow, but those Jack Daniels boys got a little long, which I totally understand, man.
Oh, yeah.
We had an awesome time, lots of great info. And man, at some point I could see both of you guys at the Jack. And wouldn't that be awesome? You know,
that would be awesome, man. That's the bucket list. Hitting all those big ones.
Absolutely. Yeah, bucket list, man.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting them.
Yeah. Hey, fans, man, there's so many of you guys in the chat. You know, Rick, I saw James, I saw Trumpet, Madwood, Stephen and Jack. I am so sorry. My apologies tonight, man, but I really wanted to talk and focus on these awesome Texas cooks. Really wanted to focus on them. We will get back to business as usual next week, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you hanging out with Mama and Papa Joe's. We appreciate you guys supporting the channel, Mom and I, and we look forward to next week. Be on the lookout for another video early next week, and then our live stream on Thursday. Gentlemen, I wish you much luck this weekend. And hey, I will come to your camp and drink one of your beers, man.
Come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You already know what I'm bringing.
Not at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah.
I'll have some of these out there.
All right. Yes, sir.
Shout out to my other sponsor right here real quick.
All right, sweet. Oh, so every time I show up, you give me some garbage, and then you've got the good stuff on the back
Dude,
side.
I don't drink at cook-offs. You already know that.
Yeah.
You just go into the cool. I'm powered by Dr. Pepper Zero. That's who I'm powered by.
Hey, folks. Hey, man, I still got people in the chat, man. Smoking Joe, what's up? Man, good to see you guys. It's been a little bit. Missed the week, man. Hey, folks, we will see you next week, man. We've gone an hour and 22 minutes. We will see you guys next week. I want all of you to be safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And we will see you when we see you. Take care, fellas.
That's good. See you out there, guys. Good luck.
See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.